Tyrone from Type Fitness Solutions. Now this is part 2 to abdominal fat, glucose, insulin sensitivity, insulin resistance, and relative to fasting. Now I'm going to dive into a little bit more about what happens and why you may be holding a little bit more belly fat or fluid, because it's not actually getting into the cells where it's needed. Now, talking about fasting, when you're fasting, you're actually deliberately trying to lower blood glucose levels. But when your blood glucose levels get low, your body goes into a survival mechanism and makes a corticosteroid hormone called cortisol. Cortisol's job is to raise blood glucose. That's its job in the body. Now, but what happens is we're missing a hormone called insulin. Insulin is created by the pancreas. The pancreas's job is to produce digestive enzymes and also insulin. Now, what happens is if you restrict insulin too much, you don't have a signaling hormone to be able to drive nutrients, water, sodium, and glucose into the cells. And this is why when you go to a long extreme fasting strategy, that you may be holding fluid and glucose outside of the cell, which gives you that fluffy look, gives you that fluidy look, gives you that ripply cellulite looking abdominal area. Now, the reason that being is because insulin is a transport signal or transport hormone signaling, which creates a cascade of events. Insulin will bind to a receptor on the muscle to open transport pathways, which are called glucose transport pathways. Then the glucose can go into the cell to be able to make energy. Now, when that glucose goes into the cell, it's not only sugar that enters. Things like sodium, nutrients, potassium, and also glucose and water will be traveling into the cell. So when you're fasting and you're restricting insulin too much, you're not allowing a signaling hormone to activate the receptors on the muscle to be able to drive those nutrients, water, and sodium into the cell so the muscle can work effectively. So this is why you may be holding a little bit more on the outside of the cells, on the extracellular area of the body, rather than being on the intracellular side where the nutrients can do their job. So fasting is a great tool, but remember it is just a tool to fat loss. We must make sure that we're using the right tool for the right job. If we're trying to use a hammer to screw in a screw, it's probably not the most efficient way to do things. I'm Tyrone Jensen from Type Fitness Solutions, helping you be leaner, fitter, healthy, and strong.